Hey, it says so. What's
Yes,
up, everyone?
let's do it. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I'm here with my good friend Mike Zagari from PPC Entourage, but we're here for another reason today. And, I have been part of Mike's event, Days of Nuggets, for 2 years now. This is the second year, right?
Yeah, this is year number two, 2020.
And and it's so cool. It's cool to be part of something bigger than myself. It's cool to raise money for such a great cause. But do you know last year I did a nugget and then I also donated, and I got more back than I donated, in not only like the value, but like also in like reimbursements. Last year we did this kind of reimbursements thing, and so we did that, and I got more back in reimbursement. So it was like this whole giving event, and everybody had so much fun, and myself included. So today, I just wanted to take a moment to tell you guys what Days of Nuggets is all about, and how you can get involved, and how you can get absolute maximum value for a really great cause. I mean, it's the Christmas season. There's more than a million Amazon sellers. If all of us come together, we can have such an incredible impact on the world, and especially for this cause. So welcome, Mike. It's so great to have you.
Hey, that was a great introduction, and thank you so much for having me. And I cannot wait to share what the Days of Nuggets event is all about. First off, I want to thank you personally, Amy, for being one of the first key Nug speakers last year. We have little nicknames for all the speakers, and just being such a great spirit to the group, and just putting it all in there, and giving your best tip. So Amy has now released two great golden nugget tips, and like you said, this event really unifies a lot of people, because this issue that we're working towards, the issue that we're working to overcome, is child trafficking. And it's black or white. It is good versus evil. And we are coming together to raise massive awareness for this as a collective group. So, Amy, through the Days of Nuggets event, our mission is to help all sellers across the world. You said there's millions. We want to help and make sure that all sellers are aware of this issue, so that we can come and make a big dent on it and help overcome this issue globally. So that's the mission of Days of Nuggets, and we have other ideas as well, which maybe we can get into later on in this live.
Can I ask you, Mike, how did you find out about, because you decided to put this event together and decide there's so many causes that we could have picked in this world, right? And anything to do with children, I think, is close to all of our hearts. But how did you find out about the problem of child trafficking, and what made you decide to partner with Operation Underground Railroad and try to raise as much money as possible to help this?
Yeah, so I went to an event a couple years ago. It was Freedom Fastlane Live, or it might have been called capitalism.com. They changed the name of it, but it was an incredible event. And, we learned a ton of stuff. But the keynote speaker was a representative from OUR, and they had the last slot on the last day. And I just remember my partner and I looking at each other and saying, oh my gosh, this problem is bigger than we could ever possibly imagine. The stories they were describing, the missions that they went on to save these kids, the conditions that these kids were living in, unimaginable given my background in my childhood. I can't even imagine. And I have a niece who's 16. She was 14 at that time, maybe 13. And I have a brother now who's 13. And imagining them being in that situation, helpless, without a voice, was enough to make the entire room really, really emotional. I remember, and they raised a lot of money during that event. It was an incredible event. And they even gave us the opportunity to become what they call an abolitionist, which means you can then do a recurring payment and then see what they're doing on a week to week, day to day basis. So just last year alone, they've saved over 1,000 kids. And how they do this is they work with ex-CIA, ex-FBI, police officers in the US, and they form these teams that then go into either the US or abroad, and then form these undercover sort of sting operations. So they go in there and they pose as traffickers, and then they learn as much as they can. They break into their networks, they figure out who's talking to who, they get a case together, and as soon as they have a case together, they work with local law enforcement to then go in there and then break up these sex trafficking rings. And sometimes 40, 50, 100 kids are involved in one single ring. But then when you think about it, how many kids in the future are going to be impacted by breaking up just one ring or getting one trafficker in jail or in jail and where they, belong? Or
And
just by going in and doing that mission, how many other traffickers are being turned off to the idea of doing this in the future? So the
And
ripple
not
effects.
only that, like this is a worldwide problem. Um, and some people might think that it only happens in certain countries or maybe countries at a low poverty level, but it's a worldwide problem and it even affects the United States of America. Is that true?
Yeah. So if you go to the website polarisproject.org, you can see a map of the most recent stings in the US and where there were complaints. And because Polaris Project has like a number that people can call if they're having an issue. So you can see where all of this is going on, and it's like bright red, basically the entire US. There's hot spots, of course, but this goes across the entire US. In fact, the US really feeds the issue because there's a high consumption for the material that comes from this. So the
Mm.
material is consumed, and then people then go abroad to try to experience whatever they viewed in the material. So OUR explains that that's the cycle of the actual problem. And then they catch these US people from the US going abroad in these trafficking rings, and they get in trouble there. But it's not just the US, it's a global problem. If you go to Google, type in how many human slaves are there today. Now, we thought this is a problem that was eradicated. If you type this into Google, I was
I'm
like
going to
shocked
do
when I
it
saw this.
right now.
Go
How
for it.
many
I did this last
human
week.
slaves are there today? 40.3 million. The Global Slavery Index estimated that roughly 40 million individuals are currently caught in modern slavery, with 71% of those being female, 1 in 4 being children.
There you go. Yeah. Now, slavery is a broad term, and that includes sex slavery, but also labor slavery as well. People stuck in unfortunate situations and working for free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big, big problem, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of how big of a problem it actually is. So the one thing though, I have to say, there's a lot of hope because there's organizations like OUR, there's organizations like Polaris Project, and they're empowering people like us to then speak up, to get loud. In fact, Amy, I heard a podcast the other day, and I really wanted to just learn more about Tim Ballard, who's the founder of Operation Underground Railroad. So I typed in his name to Apple, look. I was looking for his like different podcasts, but there was another podcast from someone who was sort of doing something similar to what we're doing. And he had this message, and it really resonated with me. And it was, give yourself the permission to get loud about this. Now, I am an introvert doing lives every day. Basically, I wake up, I'm like, shit, I got to do another freaking live. It's like, to me, it's not where I want to be. I want to be behind working on creative projects. But for this is the permission to get loud. So what does that mean? That could mean sharing posts. That could mean liking posts. That could mean talking about it to your family. That could mean sharing ideas on how to overcome this. A lot of people want to sweep this under the rug because it's super painful to discuss and super disturbing to discuss. But the more people that sweep it under the rug, the less chance it has to become a thing of the past in our lifetime. One day it will happen. Hopefully it'll happen in our lifetime. So whatever we can do to get loud, I gave myself the permission to, and I'd like to invite everyone else to get loud with me.
I love it. It's a great reason to get loud. It's a great reason to kind of find your voice. And that doesn't, like you said, it doesn't mean you have to, be a bully behind a keyboard or anything like that. You can just talk about it, just have a conversation, get involved. attend the Days of Nuggets and
Yeah.
learn something for your business, but at the same time feel good about giving back. And so it just, I know like your goal is to raise $1 million, right? For this
Yes.
cause. And
Mhm.
last year of our Days of Nuggets, we almost made it. How far did we make it? I think it was like,
Yeah, so well, I have wished that we had gotten a little further. It was that inaugural year. We made it to 50,000 in our first year.
okay, I didn't want to like inflate
Yeah.
it or
Yeah.
deflate it. So okay, so we raised 50,000 the first year. And so
Okay.
this year, you know what? That 50,000 is nothing. I mean, for the number of sellers that are out there and for those of us who, attend, there's Amazon groups with almost 50,000 people in them, right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I know that we can do better. And I think it's so good that all of us are getting involved. And of course, it's always weird to ask people to part with their money. It's always like uncomfortable. I am not a salesy person. I'm actually a lot like you, Mike, where I don't mind sharing with people one-on-one, but I get super nervous in front of big crowds. I get, I get my energy from kind of being alone and in the quiet. So, but I think that, when people come together to make an impact, it's so cool because if we thought about it, if every one of us just gave $1, we
Right.
would reach the goal. So, the thing is, this year we're at it again. We're trying to provide as much value as possible in allowing you, if you're donating to this cause, to be able to go on Days of Nuggets and get your awesome information to improve your business. And then it's like the whole, you're taking but you're giving, and you're giving but you're taking at the same time, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm really hoping that we can at least double what we did last year. And I saw some really, I was checking my nugget yesterday.
Nug dropped yesterday. It was
Yes.
great.
And I was on the website and there were so many other good nuggets. And I was like, oh, okay. So it really cool. And just for donating, you get what, like, it's like Pig Food's giving you a $50 gift certificate. So like, there's so many great value things where you're just getting that money like right back when you donate,
Yeah.
including all of the nuggets.
Right. Yeah. So let me go over the nugget philosophy.
Okay.
So, what is a nugget? How can it help end child slavery? So, a nugget is defined, and this is something we made up internally, but a nugget is defined as a kick butt piece of great content that moves the needle in your business and helps you just do really well in your business. It's based on the wisdom and the experience of people who have done it before. And that could be the experts that are talking and giving nuggets. But this year, it's also the sellers who are getting involved because we're having a seller nugget submission contest. So everyone's got a nugget of gold inside of them to share. So in the spirit of harmony, in the spirit of sharing, give your gold, share your nugget, and then you could win a prize for that, first off. But then someone else could take that and grow their business. And now they're aware of Operation Underground Railroad. They're aware of this big, ugly problem that gets swept under the rug. And we're planting seeds. So the first initiative of the Days of Nuggets is to raise massive awareness. We want to plant seeds. I got a seed planted in me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and this is why we're doing this here today. Maybe in 3, 4 years, someone else will be doing something else. I have no idea, but that would be amazing. Second initiative is to raise money. Every $2,500 raised saves one child. So if we raise 100,000, that's, my math is right. I think that's 20 kids that are saved. No, 40 kids that are saved. If we raise 1 million, that's 400. But there's a ripple effect of all of that. There's kids that are saved in the future and everything else. So if we can do this, we could save a lot of kids and save a lot of kids in the future. Now, yes, it's a small dent, but then the third initiative is we help you with these nuggets to grow your business. You take these nuggets of wisdom from the community and from these experts, grow your business. And then one day when you can give back even more, we can then solve this problem together. We can really kick some butt on this problem and go from there. So those are the 3 initiatives. And if you go to daysofnuggets.com, you'll see that every couple hours we release a new nugget from one of these great speakers. So you can go there and you can check out, like, Amy, I want to ask you about your nugget yesterday. You dropped the nugget on the how to get into retail, because something that you've done recently really well was get into Walmart and a couple other retail stores. So Amy dropped that nugget of wisdom based on her experience, and it was about 10 minutes long. And once you're a member, you donate $89 or more, you get access to all the nuggets, and you get a $50 pick food credit. So you get to see all of the nuggets in their entirety. You'll also get the mega event from last year. You'll get a $50 pick food credit, and you get to then, that's it. Get
So
to,
you get all the nuggets from last year too. Oh,
yeah, the
that's
nuggets, and,
cool.
and also the mega event that we did last year, the
Oh,
nine
that's
hour
right. It
event.
was like how many hours were we live? I don't even remember. It was so many hours. Like it was cool. Yes,
Yeah, it was really
that's
cool.
so awesome. So my nugget, yes, it was about retail. And the reason I picked that nugget is because I posted in my Facebook group. I said, "What do you guys want to learn about?" I was like, "I can teach you about product research. I can teach you about getting into retail. I can teach you about this, that, and I kind of named like top 5 hot topics that we've been talking about lately. And I think everyone's kind of beat up from Amazon this quarter. Like we're all a little bit beat up. So I got a ton of votes for like, Amy, teach us how you got into retail. So, I took just the tips of how to set up your brand to start selling in retail. And the thing is, there's a ton of people out there that teach retail, but we do it a little bit differently. We kind of make it easier, right? There's all these platforms and stuff that you kind of feel like you have to fill out a form online and then wait for buyers to come to you. We teach you how to go to the buyers and how to set up your brand in a way that's going to actually get a response from them, and then where to find those buyers, how to contact them, that kind of thing. So I just kind of give everybody, as well as I could do in 10 minutes, I give you kind of some good foundational tips to get started in expanding into retail and selling your products wholesale. So yeah, it's really cool. It's a great new way to increase your sales.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love Amazon. I'm loving my Q4. Thank goodness I'm doing merchant fulfilled, but not all of us are loving FBA right now. But yeah, I mean, love Amazon, but I'm really loving the opportunity to have more sales channels. So I'm really hoping to give people that value. One of our group members that was in our retail program, he right after, he was just so pumped about reaching out right away. He went to local buyers and he sold $8,000 in product in one
Wow.
weekend. And then he was just like fired up, so it's just cool when you kind of like get permission to get
Really was.
loud, but also to like, oh, I can talk to buyers, and you don't have to have a unique product. You don't have to have like some patent or something. You can have a very common product, maybe a product that's saturated on Amazon, and you can do very well in retail. So, that was what my nugget was all about, and it was based on everybody's votes. And I hope that it brings people some value, or at least like opens that door for them.
Yeah, opens that door, gets them started. That's amazing. Amy, you are so full of like energy and light, and your nugget is awesome. I'm just so thankful that you're involved in Days of Nuggets. It's really special, and it's really great that people are uniting behind this cause to really give back. And I can't thank you enough. It really means a lot.
Oh, thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for having me. And, I just want to encourage everybody out there, even if you can't do a lot, maybe you're just getting started and, you're not in a good place in your business, help us. If you can't, donate monetarily, get involved, check out the stuff that's there, and just say hello, help us spread the word about the event. And just, I thank you guys so much for getting involved with this awesome cause. And I just feel so motivated already by our Amazon sellers community. It's so great, like there's so many great people, and we all share, even though we're competitive with each other, we share our knowledge, and it's just such a wonderful community to be involved with. I haven't found a better community anywhere. And I was in the military, it's like It's incredible the levels of support. So just when I think about the kind of impact that we could have together and how our stamp as Amazon sellers could be on this incredible impact, it just, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So I hope we can get
Love
that
it.
done.
Love it. And one little thing, I want to plant a seed out there. Maybe someone can help me with this. So we as sellers can make a huge impact. There's millions of us. And we also sell to millions of shoppers and we have insert cards. Why not
Ooh.
combine the two? If we're trying to raise massive awareness, that might be an opportunity if you like work with your brand messaging to introduce people to this problem that they may not be aware of. So I have this idea planted in the back of my mind that maybe there's a way to bridge that gap and help sellers, help the shoppers become more aware of this problem. So it's in its infancy, but if anyone has any interest, reach out to me. I would love to get your ideas and opinions on that idea.
Yeah, maybe we can bring some of our really great graphic designers that we have in this community into the mix, and we can help people
Right?
create really effective product inserts that also spread the word. I love it. I love creative ideas like that. You're so creative.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Well, we're going to let you go and head over to daysofnuggets.com. And thank you so much for listening today. Thank you, Mike, for being here and for making us aware of this incredible problem that we have in the world. And let's all help these children get out of these unimaginable situations and just do our part and, come together and make a massive impact. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Head over to daysofnuggets.com and check out my nugget and all the other nuggets and get you some super value for your business. Thank you, Mike.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.